disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, no. Thursdays. I messed up my intro. No! Thursdays, we got the traditional way with Brett Shumway. And once a month, we got the extra scoop with Peyton Fender. Jeff, don't get on me if I was wrong.
For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Man, you know what? It's been one of those weeks of just highs and lows and highs and lows. Start off Martin Luther King Day. I had it off work, 3 days off. Kids were off. My daughter's birthday. That was all good. But
hold on, Joe. I got a question.
Yeah.
Not that I don't mean to interrupt you.
It's all good.
It's an important question. You sound like you're getting a little hoarse.
Oh, that's part of my whole thing.
That I was wondering, are you sick or is this from Roots of the Lions? Go ahead.
Both. It's both. Because so Monday, everyone's off from school. I'm home from work. It's a holiday. They let me have a holiday off for once. And wake up, it's freaking 45 degrees in my house. When I went to bed, it was 68. So we go to the heat and it's blowing cold air. So I'm like, okay, gotta figure that out. Someone comes out, no big deal. It's a clog, $200. Guy leaves, everything's fine. Next day, go and celebrate my daughter's birthday. We had a lot of fun. She turned 16. Everyone was off of school. Good time had by all. My wife got sick. My middle child got sick. My youngest got sick. It all started with the oldest child. And I've been saying all week, I'm staying away from it. I got sick.
That's right. You did say that last week.
Yeah. I tried not to say it, but I said it. So I've been dealing with the full-on body aches, congestion, everything. Fever. COVID, I had a fever. No, I checked myself twice. It's just the fever, the body aches, the chills, all that bull. And I still got the congestion left over. And then, of course, when you're congested and you're watching TV and your team's doing well, you're screaming at the TV. So I completely lost my voice yesterday, and it's coming back a little bit. But
that's right. You did say something when me, you, and Steve were doing our other podcast that Angel doesn't know about action movies. Angel doesn't know about, and he did say that he was. Steve said he was sick, and then you said that you were coming down with something too. No, I'm just messing with you, Angel. Me and Joe are not doing a secret podcast.
Don't do that to me. Don't do. I'm not in the right state of mind. You know what's crazy? When you walked off and we were doing the pre-show, I told Joe, I said, are you just doing this to get me started? It's too early for that. Don't do that.
Anyhow, so on top of all that, I talked to my mom, and then her furnace was out. So I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like, is this my dad's way of reaching out? Because my dad did heating and cooling, and I'm like, all these furnaces going out, he'd be rolling in his grave right now. So she got hers fixed. She ended up having everything on the damn thing fixed, costing her money. And then I thought we were good. $200, fix it up, no problem. And I wake up this morning or last night after the game, and it's blowing cold air again. So the guy comes out. I thought it was going to be something simple again. And he said the whole thing's rusted on the inside. He took pictures. He showed me. And he's like, yeah, you're going to need a whole new furnace.
Did you cuss?
Not at him.
No.
I said, what? Like, everyone's like, oh, yeah, get a house. It's a good investment. I'm like, well, who said that? Because you know what you do when you rent a house? I call the landlord and I say, hey, landlord, you need a new furnace.
Yeah.
Put on that. Now I'm the landlord, so I got to deal with that crap. So I'm just like, oh, so that's a mess. But right now he got it working, but he says it's, you know, it's got to be replaced. So it could go out any day now. So that's on our list. Other than that, you know, Ava turned 16. Layla's gonna be 14 tomorrow. So, you know, by the time this comes out, I'll be figuring that out. She wants to go out to lunch, do some shopping, all that fun stuff. So
you might not be going to lunch tomorrow.
Why?
The schools are closed already.
I know they're closed, but
you gonna go out in that ice? You gonna slide all the way to the restaurant on ice?
I'll figure it out.
There you go. Now we're gonna see a picture on Facebook, Angel, of Joe on a sled with huskies pulling him. That's right.
The other thing, I mean, go Lions, man.
That's right.
What are we gonna do in Detroit if Dan Campbell wins us the Super Bowl?
Well, I know I'm not going to work. I told my manager that back in September. I told him, I said, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, don't expect to see me working the next day. He said, okay.
I know it's weird to say that, but dang, like, I mean, this guy should run for president or something because man, he's making people want to run through a wall.
Yeah, man, he got those players, you know, believing in, you know, the system, and you know,
that's crazy.
They winning, you know, they find a way to win, you know. And you know, I haven't been talking any mess to anybody really. I haven't really said anything. And one of my coworkers, he's in St. Louis. No, is it? I believe he covers St. Louis, but he also roots for Kansas City. And he tried to start a little rivalry. I was like, look, man, I'm not going there with you. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to jinx it. I did not talk crap to anybody for the Wolverines when Michigan won. I'm not talking crap to anybody about the Lions. Hopefully they win. Even Travis, I have not said anything to Travis, and I know he's holding on to the bandwagon, and people are trying to knock him off, but he's holding on. Travis is actually up under the wagon. He's holding on to the axle up under the wagon. That's what he's doing.
Travis talked to me last week and said some of the stuff you said last time about why he left was absolutely wrong, and I just started dying.
That's bull. That's absolutely.
Literally, he told me. I told him, I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yeah, I meant to send you. I didn't send you the clip because it wasn't really much, but we had like a whole rant about Lions." And he was like, "Yeah, I heard Gene just be making stuff up." I was like, "Okay,
ain't no way I'm making stuff up." Travis, it's been documented. He did not root for the Lions. I got the text messages. He said exactly what I said. He said. I have a text message.
The only person that's more savage than Travis right now is Avery. Avery's savage with his stories.
Well, you know what?
He posted today. Posted a picture, and it was a kid. So it was either a kid or the dad was like, or it was a kid with a sign, and he said, "Today is my first Lions game," and it was the playoff game this past weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Avery put at the top, "You weren't there when they were 0-16." Like Avery's just like, nah, Avery's a savage. I was wondering if they go to the Super Bowl, will Avery buy a ticket and go?
You know, I don't know, man. The Super Bowl is not really for average people. Like even well-to-do people don't really have that extra money like that where you're gonna spend, it's not like you're paying $1,000 or $2,000 for a ticket. Like it's more than that. For
a ticket?
For Super Bowl tickets. The Super Bowl is not for average people. That's for people who are CEOs and their families, and people who have money for marketing. Uh, uh, like Ford Motor Company, Kraft. If you can afford to advertise, that's who the Super Bowl is for. It's not, and celebrities. It's not for the average person like
I didn't
us.
know that. I didn't know tickets were that expensive.
They're extremely expensive. You can't, as of right now, you can't even get. I heard someone on the radio this afternoon. He was saying he can't even get a ticket to fly out to San Francisco. There's no flights available. He said he tried all types of trying to fly out of Chicago, trying to fly out of this other place. It's hard. So
Wow.
what's up with you, Angel? Are you done, Joe? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. What's up, Angel?
First thing for me is, man, go Lions. I'm an adopted Michigan sports fan now, so when I saw they won, I had to make sure I give it to everybody in the chat. Go Lions! We going to the Super Bowl, baby. I truly, it was actually a good thing I watched that documentary on the Lions, just because I'm even more invested now, because I really want to see them win. So I was actually just really happy that they won, like I said. And I really want to see how far they go. I think no matter what, this season is considered a win, no matter how you look at it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now we're just playing for bonus. Like, this is just bonus stuff for us. So this is amazing.
Yeah, but 2 games away
outside
from
of that,
winning the
man.
Super Bowl is that's crazy to even think we're that close.
Well,
now.
I was gonna put this in the group chat. If the Lions win the Super Bowl, we all need to put a bet, and we all split it on a Michigan team winning the NCAA tournament. At this point, run with it. Because if we got Michigan winning the college football national championship, if they win the Super Bowl, let's just put money and I might even put money down that the Detroit Tigers might have a crazy run this year. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm saying? It's just the whole city right now is thriving. Let's just run with it. Who knows how much money we make? And if one of us wins, we split it between each other.
Well,
That's
you
it.
know what? There's as far as basketball, college basketball, I don't know how well Michigan is doing this year.
The Wolverines were
But
good last year.
I mean,
They didn't make the
basketball,
tournament last year.
Huh?
yeah.
They didn't make the tournament last year.
So was it 2 years ago that they got to the
It was a few years
semifinal, or they were in
Yeah.
It was a few years ago. Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
because it was when Jawan Howard just started coaching. He took them that far, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been there for a while now. Yeah, he's been there a while now.
Yeah. The only reason why I
He
say
was
is because I
out last
remember I could have swore I just saw him in the semifinal or something like that.
No, it's been a couple years, man, and there's no way I can root for that other school. I mean, unless we're talking about Oakland, you want to root for Oakland, I'll root for Oakland. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I was gonna tell you is yeah, man, we gotta, if they win the Super Bowl, we gotta put money on a Michigan team for March Madness.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what, man. I don't know about that, but maybe I might put money on the Pistons getting the number one draft this year. They are god awful this year, and they should have had the number one draft last year. So.
But it's not based off worst record anymore, right?
It's not, but you have a higher chance of winning the number one.
Why? If you have a worst
than
record, they put more of the little little bingo balls in there.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, whether that's 100% true or not, or who knows?
Okay.
So.
So yeah, that was good. Took my students to a tournament this weekend. They all did well, so that was my happy moment this weekend, was just watching them do good.
Okay.
I ended up competing. I won, and besides that, it was it, man. Just chilling.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got kids going to a tournament this weekend. This weekend is the Arctic Challenge, so tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, tonight we worked on some stuff because I have quite a few. As of now, I think 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have 6 or 7 new kids competing, in addition to my other kids who competed last year. So I should have a nice group. Going to the Arctic Challenge. So I'm pretty excited about that. And a lot of them, my purple belts, this is their first tournament ever. So I'm going through what to do, how to do your form for a tournament. How to walk into the ring. and in basic sparring stuff, what I need them to work on, back fist, reverse front, side kicks, just focus on that. One kid wanted to do a jump spin, a hook kick. I was like, no, you're a purple belt. Don't don't even worry about doing a jump spin, a hook kick. Don't worry about that at all
Who's
right now.
that?
You don't know him. His name is Alex. He's one of
Okay.
my purple belts. He's not in the bow class. You have about 3 more months before you meet Alex, and Alex is definitely going to ask you some strange questions because
Uh,
he's an
can't
interesting
wait.
kid.
Can't
Yeah,
wait.
he's an interesting kid. You know, uh, yeah, and like you guys, I watched the game, but Sundays is dad day for me. So I so I had Champ right now last week. I took him to the YMCA and he wanted to swim last week and play basketball and stuff. And I said, you know what, next week we're gonna do it. But I said that I was fully anticipating the Lions playing Sunday night. I had no idea they was going to put them in the middle of the day at 3 o'clock. You know, so when I go to pick them up, and Dakota is here with us this weekend also, and she wanted to do some stuff with me and Melissa for her birthday. So Saturday we took her out and spent the day with her, and then yesterday I went and picked Champ up. First thing he said, "What we doing today, Dad?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." And then he says, "Well, you said we were going to swim. You said we're going to swim. We're going to go play basketball. We're going to go to that YMCA place again." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? We're going to go somewhere else." So now I'm thinking quick, you know. And now Melissa had told Dakota that we were going to go play laser tag. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking. I pick up, come home after I pick up Champ, and I'll grab Melissa and I tell her, I say, you know what? Let's go to Dave and Buster's. So she said, cool. And I said,
Perfect.
yeah, they got TVs in there. So when the kids are playing, we can watch the game. And that's what we did. That's what we did. So the kids had a good time. Me and her got to watch the game because Melissa, she likes football too. So she really wanted to watch the games too. So we did that, and we cheered. Man, David Buster's have a lot of screens,
Oh yeah.
big, huge screens also, and they had the sound on also, so we can hear. We can hear clearly. It wasn't like a normal. It's not like when you go to B Dubs or something like that where you can't really hear the commentators
Yeah.
talking. No, we could clearly hear what they were saying.
I've gone there
So
a couple times for UFC fights.
okay, that was the first time. That was the first time I paid attention to any type of sport game at Dave and Buster. But it was cool, man. We sat there and had lunch and had a good time. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Really nice.
Other than that, man, work was iffy last week. Because of all the storms and stuff. Man, that snow is still at the dojo. I went there this afternoon and I tried to do the sidewalk and I got as much as I could up, which looked like nothing. you know, I put some more salt down and I went there this morning and I put the salt down, thinking that by this evening, it's gonna, kind of melt it. Man, I think that snow ate the salt. So I went back. When I went back, I didn't even see it. I got the blue salt too. I got the blue kind. I sprinkled that all down the whole block. I came back this afternoon. I was like, "Where that shit go? It's gone." I couldn't find it nowhere. Salt sticks around for days sometime, man. All of that.
Yo, I thought you were. I almost spit my water at my computer. It ate the. Oh
I
man.
thought, man, I was looking for it. Like I swear, I was looking for it. I was like, "Damn, that shit gone." And what the funny thing is too. This morning when I went out looking for that salt, I went to 3 different places. They didn't have salt. So I'm assuming people were anticipating the storm that we're about to get tonight / in the morning.
Yep.
So but on the flip side, it's going to be warmer this week. Finally, we're about to get above freezing, which is going to help us. And I'll be able to get up to the dojo probably tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon / Wednesday morning, and I should be able to knock out the sidewalk at least in front of my school. Now it's just not my school though. That whole street, the whole block, for about a mile is just covered with snow and ice. There's no sidewalk for about a mile.
That's
It was
crazy.
just it was because of what happened. I mean, it normally doesn't happen. It normally doesn't rain, snow, melt the snow, and then refreezes again. That's what
Yeah.
happened. So it's just so much ice right there now because it kept freezing. So you could tell people attempted to try to shovel, but yeah, it wasn't going anywhere. You probably needed to have some type of vehicle to come through or something on the sidewalks. But yeah, it's bad.
You
You
don't think a
know,
snowblower will even go through it or no?
Mm, not a handheld one. It would have to be probably a riding one. That
Oh
that would
wow.
probably have a little bit more power because that stuff, like I was beating that snow, man, that ice, and it was not going anywhere. I was like,
You
damn.
know, ice pick.
Yeah, I ain't about to do all that, man. I would teach Zoom for 2 or 3 weeks before I have to do that, man. And if it was honestly, man, if it wasn't for the fact that these kids are competing at the Arctic Challenge this weekend, I probably would have canceled classes today. But I needed to be in front of them to work on some stuff, and it's just some stuff you just can't do on Zoom. It's not
Yeah.
going to have the same effect. They have to practice, doing a walk into the room, walk into the ring. I'm kind of happy that now. I don't know about where you're at, Angel, but now like here in Michigan, they don't really do the intros anymore. Really, it's
Oh, I
pretty
told
much.
my kids. I told my two. I had two students go this weekend. I
Mm.
told them, I was like, you walk in the ring, just say your form and just start. That's it.
Yeah,
Don't give
yeah,
me no.
yeah,
Don't go extra with it. Just say your form and start.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
So, so I really didn't go over that with them. Now, the funny thing is, some of the kids who go to tournaments and have been competing in forums, they see the other kids doing it, the successful kids at tournaments. They see them doing it, so some of them want to do somewhat of an intro. They kind of picked it up on their own, and they asked me about it. I said, oh, I don't care. Go ahead, do it. You know,
you
that's
gotta be
cool to
like Jeff Doss when he's over here talking about everything he does. Team Revolution,
me.
inside scoop, extra scoop. He said everything in his intro. He does it. He does it all.
Oh, he really said it.
Oh, he
I
said
didn't.
it on stage. Oh, he said it on
No,
stage.
I didn't. You know what, man? He had put that in a text message, and I didn't. I just thought that he was just saying I'm about to represent. I didn't know he was really going to say it.
If he didn't say that, I know he did not say his normal. I listen. I saw Jeff when we were in Missouri last year. Jeff went up, and I laugh because it shows a difference. I think, and not in a bad way. It just shows a difference between like Jeff and me, and just like like how I'm a little bit more raw and raunchy, and Jeff is more even kill and
Conservative.
like packages it up and make it looks nice. So
Mhm.
he told me he was gonna go on stage and say, "I'm here to do two things," and it should have been cut shit up and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That's what he was gonna say. When he
Mhm.
got up, well, that's what he was supposed to say. When he got up there, he said, "I'm here to do two things: cut some stuff up and chew bubble gum." And I'm all out of bubble gum. I would have just said the word anyways. Like, let's just.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I see what you're saying.
he changed the way he censored himself. Like that's always been a difference. So
You know what's
he
funny
did
about
that.
that? I honestly thought you. I honestly thought you were gonna say Joe. Jeff said that he was gonna get up here and say that, but I thought he was gonna say, and all I have is bubble gum. And I thought he messed up like that. Because I would have been like,
No,
people would have been like, what?
he said, and I'm all out of bubble gum. And I never forget because when he said it, I was like, oh, that's clever. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Yeah.
showmanship stuff that he does. It's clever.
And that's
So
important in forms that I don't think I don't know about your schools and how you guys came up, but I know we didn't focus a lot of the showmanship when it came to forms. We kind of focused a lot on doing the form,
yeah,
and you kind of were on your own. Like I think the first person that really broke out and really, really was successful doing forms, at least from our school, was Ski. And that was because he watched the other forums competitors and talked to them and asked questions, and then he would bring it back and incorporate those things into his forums, so and it paid off in the long run for him.
yeah. No, we I try to show them. I mean, yeah, I still focus on like the form itself, But I try to tell them like there has to be a certain presence that you have to enter the ring with that captivates people. But someone said this, and I know we gotta get started. I know Jeff is going nuts. Our intro's too long. But I and Jeff, don't get mad in the group chat either. So but I will say someone said this at the AKAs on the live stream, which I actually said I think more national competitors should do. They should take an acting class.
Mm-hmm.
And I only say that because I'm gonna be honest, man. There was one dude that used to beat my brother on stage all the time. Now that my brother's not really going against him on stage anymore, I kind of like look at his form and now appreciate it. I will say, man, like in all seriousness, he really does. Like it literally looked like he turned into a character. Like he turned into if he was Master Splinter, if he was Donatello, like he turned into someone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you got that feeling, you saw it, and even I was like, yo, that was actually really good. Like I believed him actually doing whatever he was doing. I think that's where what we're lacking right now is people bringing it to life and almost like becoming a character. I mean, in a sense, man, it's almost like a skit. It's almost like an act. It's almost
you're 100% right on that, and that's one of the things I have been stressing with the kids that it's like you're doing a fight scene in a movie. That's what I always tell.
So it's like exactly. So I think like at that point, I think that's why you see those people that transition over into now it's back in the movies. Why they transition over into stunt work and all that is because they know how to bring the theatrical performance with the athletic performance that they have. I think so many times people are focused on just athletic performance. And hey man, that's why Jeff did so good at the AKAs. Why everyone was talking about it because he had the athletic stuff, but he made it a show for people. Like he made it like entertaining. You know what I mean? And I think at some point we got to also, as much as we're martial artists, we're also there entertaining them. If you're on the nighttime show, it's a production. You know what I mean? So treat it as such. But yeah.
And the last thing is me and Melissa, we just been talking about this wedding, going back and forth, trying to decide what we want to do. And I'm not really going to talk about it too much because it could change. And you can say, what happened? I thought y'all were doing X, Y, Z. I thought y'all were doing this, doing that. And, I'm the type of person that I will figure out what I want to do and I'm going to stick to it. And that's just it. I'm not thinking about it no more. She, on the other hand, will change things. And she can change things and not even tell me. And I'm still thinking we're doing one way. And, it totally didn't change in her head, so.
I got one of those too.
Y'all crazy as hell, acting like they're not gonna get on this damn show. So, baby, I love you, and I love what we do.
Listen. We talk about this every day. Okay, before I met my wife, there's two things that don't happen anymore. We're never on time. I used to be on time, and I don't be on time. I've made amends with that. Okay, that's just how it is. Never gonna be on time. And number two, stuff changes on the fly. Just how it goes. There is no planning anymore. We planned it. It didn't go as planned. We just gonna make it work. This is those two things. I had to deal with it or get out. I'm still here, so it is what it is.
Listen, I just wanted to make
that's what love does.
Gene, if this plans keeps changing and you end up having a wedding in the US and you don't invite me,
well, it's already happened. It already happened. I'm gonna tell you right now. Ain't no disrespect to you, but there probably won't be too many people at the wedding, the ceremony part. There probably might be.
No. I'm saying about the party. If you don't invite me to this party, come on, man.
You want to come to the D? Come on.
Yeah. Well, listen, because you said you use. Well, pause. Yeah. Pause.
There you go.
Don't do that. Pause. No, let's not go that far now. Let's not go that far.
You know that's the nickname for Detroit, right? You do know it's called the D.
And you know what? And you saw in that video I sent you, the acronym for defense is D. And they said they were writing the D. So let's not go that far.
I did not say if you wanted to come do that. That's not happening.
You said if you want to come to the D. You said if you want to come to the D, come on. Pause. Stop that.
Keep going.
What I was just gonna say was, but yeah, no, you said you're gonna do like the party was really more for everybody else. So
yeah.
I mean, listen, if that's more for everybody else, and that's more like where like we like me as a friend, as someone who wants to just celebrate you, if that's where we're supposed to be, that's fine. I just want my invitation. I'll be there, bro. I mean, I'll
let you know when we hammer down those dates, man, because
yeah,
like I said, like plans seem to change every week.
I got you.
As of right now, it sounds good. Let's just make sure that we're gonna keep, and I'll let you guys know what we're gonna do. Because right now
I got
it's kind of cool. I'm actually kind of looking forward to what me and her have talked about. So
Okay. You
um,
sold me on the mansion, so that's what got me. You
yeah,
sold
that
me.
part's still staying. That part's still staying. We still doing that, and uh, we working that out. Shoot, it's gonna be time to start putting some deposits now pretty soon, man. It's almost February. Like today, the 22nd of January. It feel like we just started the month. We're already at the 22nd. So
Time flies, man.
yeah. So let's get into it. Kung Fu Panda 3.
Okay, I remember still liking this movie. It is the third version of the movie. A lot of times those can get a little different. Movie starts off. We see Master Oogway, and he's fighting somebody. I'm not quite sure where yet, but eventually we figure out they're in the spirit realm, and it's a old buddy of his, Kai. They came up together. They used to fight together, and then something happened. The story that they're going to tell you a little bit later, but he's fighting them, and the fight's not going Master Oogway's way, and he kind of tells them, you've gotten stronger. And he says, well, you're not going to stop me this time. And he says, oh, that's okay. I already put somebody else on that path, talking about Poe. So now this is the new bad guy. This is Kai. He's got little jade figures of other people, and he
Of all the masters.
of all the masters, and he wants to trap Master Oogway, which I guess he becomes successful because once he does it, he ends up making his way to the real world. And that's kind of how everything starts. And then we go right into Poe, and he's doing his normal thing, protecting the valley, high-fiving bunnies and geese, and running around just being Poe. And he gets called to the top of the Jade Palace, like he always does. And Shifu has a new next part of his training for him, as he always does. One day it's okay, now you're the Dragon Master. Next day it's Inner Peace. This time it's his last day teaching. Now Poe's going to take over and teach the Furious Five.
Did you think that was a little weird?
Um,
I did.
I did, of course, at first, but then when you see the way the movie goes, and at the end, then you'll be like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, it was weird. But the idea of the movie, I guess the whole idea at the beginning is like the Dragon Warrior is the new Oogway, the new master of Kung Fu. So I guess it makes sense that he would have to take over.
That part didn't make sense to me. I mean, it did again at the end, but it didn't because I was just like he jumped over Shifu, like he just skipped him.
Yeah,
like,
and that's where it doesn't make sense even to Poe, because he's looking around like, well, how am I going to teach people who already are masters of Kung Fu? Like, I just got here. I'm okay just defending the valley. But, I mean, he has technically, he's already done things that nobody else has been able to do. He beat Tai Long in the first movie when nobody else could. He beat, the Peacock and mastered Inner Peace long before Shifu. And so, I mean, I guess it only makes sense that he's going to take over and be able to eventually figure it out. Like, what's his purpose? And that is the whole idea of this movie, is to figure out his place in the world of Kung Fu, but also discover, like, who am I? What is the Dragon Warrior? All that fun stuff that he really has no idea who he is as a person.
I kind of, one of the things that I liked about this movie is, and not just this movie, but the whole series. I like the dynamic that Poe has with Master Shifu, because so many times when we see these movies, the master kind of becomes the father figure.
Yeah.
And Master Shifu does not become Poe's father figure. I mean, he is, he's a mentor, but Poe has a dad. that is the dad,
Yeah.
and Shifu is not looked at like Splinter or or like Mr. Miyagi or any of those characters like that.
So when I watched this movie, I actually figured Gene was gonna be his favorite in terms of the stupidity was called upon throughout the whole movie, and I figured Gene was gonna appreciate it. Um, Especially like how we were talking about with Shifu and Poe's relationship. I think in this movie it showed even more that there was more of like a colleague relationship as
Mhm.
it was a like how we said like a father figure type role.
Yeah, Shifu kind of seemed like the leader of the team, and not necessarily, you know, like I never looked at Splinter as part of the Turtles.
I saw him as just a parent. That's what I saw him.
Yeah, exactly. But Shifu kind of reminds me of one of the team. Like he's just the leader of the team,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
Poe is kind of the leader and Tigress has her parts also. But I don't know. I kind of like it.
Um,
Hmm.
I think most of us as martial artists, when we come across, because I've had a couple of different instructors, but from the moment I met your uncle, like I've always just really looked up to him. Like I've always listened to what he has to say because he always had knowledge. He just always was someone that, he always expected more of us.
Hmm.
And the way he ran his class, it wasn't just being a black belt. It wasn't just being a good competitor. It was going above and beyond.
Hmm.
He was the first person that I ever heard say that a C at school is not good enough. Like in my household, if a C is passing, but your
In,
uncle
in
would
in
tell,
my head, it was passing.
that's what I'm saying. Your uncle, and to this
Yeah.
day, even when I go to a class that he's teaching, or even at the kids kicking cancer classes, he still holds on to that. He still tells
Mhm.
people if a C is not good enough, you should have A's and B's, and frankly, you should have all A's. And that's a standard I know that he holds to his students, his nephews, his nieces, and everyone in between. And I mean that kind of stuff, like you don't think about it, but we all should hold ourselves to that high of a standard. And that's basically what Shifu in this movie is trying to say. Oogway saw greatness in you. Now you need to find that greatness and see what he saw.
Mhm.
That's what this whole series has kind of been leading up to. You don't think you can teach these people, you don't think you're on their level, but guess what? You are. You just got to find it. You got to figure it out for yourself. And when you do, that's when you'll ascend to the next level of training. Whatever that be, because he's going to discover a whole new side of himself because, he's freaking out. His first day as a teacher didn't go very well. These terrible geese trolls, whatever you want to call them, are talking junk about him and, saying
Yeah,
they
I was wondering about that. Like, I thought that he was supposed to be teaching the Furious Five,
he
but
was.
yeah, but when he sees Master Shifu later, it seems like everybody in the village knew how bad of an instructor he was.
Well,
So
I
I
think
was
I
wondering
think
if
it was just gossip.
okay, because I didn't know if he was teaching classes and people were just randomly coming to him and he had to do his class. And we only just saw the Furious Five and we didn't see him training the other people in the
Yeah,
village.
I think it was
I
just
didn't know.
I think it was gossiping throughout the
Okay.
valley
Okay.
or something like that. And then this next part was funny because Kai, he defeats Oogway and he shows up in the mortal realm and like nobody knows who he is. He shows up like, hey, here I am, I'm back, fear me. And nobody knows who he is. And he's getting mad because he's like, he's giving them all these nicknames and nobody knows who he is. And then he mentions Oogway and they're like, oh, we know Oogway.
Mhm.
Oogway was great. And we find out he can send these jade figurines of all these masters and he sends them out under his command. And I guess they have the same fighting power as the masters were. So when he sends them out, but he can see through their eyes. So he
Wait.
sends them to the village. Go ahead.
That was annoying, right? Because I was like, if he could do all that, why didn't he just send why didn't he send Uguay out? He was the most powerful master out of all of them.
Yeah,
I
true.
didn't even think about that.
Right? I kept saying that. I was like, why did he not just send them out? And then on top of that, those guys would have had more of a heart, because they didn't even want to fight Shifu.
Well, what I can say about that is, so he has to take their chi away to turn them into jade figures. So maybe the more powerful the master, the more chi you have to release to control it. Maybe he doesn't want to release all that at once. It might diminish his own power. I don't know. It's just me coming up with something.
Man, but I just kept saying the whole time. I was just like, man, why didn't he just put him out there? Because
I said the same thing. I did too the first time I watched this.
Yeah.
It's funny because Poe, I guess apparently when he gets upset, he goes back to his dad's place at the shop, and he's taking a bath, and his dad's kind of wondering, like, why are you here? And he's looking like, oh, because I want to help out with this, and I want to help out with that, and I want to help out with this. And he's like, no, like, what's the real reason? So he tells them, I got to teach, and I'm doing a bad job, and everything stinks. And during that, someone's, talking about his dumpling record about to be broken. And he goes out, and you see, another panda.
Gene was happy.
Yeah.
Not really. I knew who it was. I didn't trust him.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, you shouldn't.
No. I thought that I didn't think that was him. I thought that was Kai in disguise. I didn't know what power.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, I didn't know what powers Kai had. I just knew that he came, into the real world. So yeah. I thought that might have either him.
Yeah, but at the end of the last one, we saw the dad realize his son was still alive.
Oh no! I knew that. I remember that. But when he was here at this part, I didn't know if this was Kai or if Kai was controlling him.
Gotcha.
To lead Poe to Kai. I didn't trust him.
So the funny thing is, the first time these two look at each other, they're like, oh my God, another panda. But then the dad says, I lost my son. I'm looking for my son. And Poe says, really? That's weird. I lost my dad. I don't know where he's been. And so everyone, of course, is looking like, duh. And they're both about to walk away from each other. Like, okay, well, I hope you find your dad. Okay. I hope you find your son. It was real silly, but
it was. I did kind of laugh.
Yeah,
but
it was, funny.
Did you guys wonder? Well, you guys seen this movie before. It's my first time, but the first time you saw this part, did you wonder where was his mom?
Yes.
Okay, because I did also. I because the last movie led us to believe that his parents were killed. At the end of the movie, when we saw his dad, I thought, okay, well, the mom did not die. So where is she now? Is what I was thinking when this movie came on.
And they do I should get a little bit more into that.
Yeah.
Down the road. But the other thing about this is, we find out Poe's real name is Lotus. According to the dad, but he still goes by Poe. And then on top of that, his adopted dad is a little upset because now he's thinking, I'm going to lose my son forever. But I mean, it's been what'd they say, 15, 20 years?
Yeah.
So
20 years. 20 years.
Yeah, you don't lose that bond just because, real dad shows up. I mean, it's got that new car smell to it, but for the most part, the person that raised you is still going to be, your dad, and the other person you got to get to know. And these circumstances that they're under are a little bit more dire because during the dad and him kind of hanging out, he shows them the Jade Palace. They're running around being goofy and silly, playing with all the stuff like Poe did when he first got there. So, they're very similar. And then the valley is under attack by these jade figures. And while this attack is happening, the dad kind of realizes like his son is in danger again.
And that's another thing, because his dad was making facial expressions, and I couldn't get a read on why he was looking the way he was looking. On one hand, he was looking like, okay, I don't want you involved in this. And then on the other hand, to me, it kind of looked like I said, I thought that this was Kai. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if he wanted him to go out there and then get caught, captured and kidnapped. I don't know. So I was just, kept on thinking about him as all this is going on, because Poe was just acting like, oh, this happens all the time, every day. This is nothing. We're gonna go out here and fight, and we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, Poe basically says, this is my job. Like, this is what I do every day. And the dad has PTSD because, he already lost the mom. And now his son, in his eyes, his son is back in danger. And he doesn't want to lose him again. I'm like, I just found you. I'm going to lose you again. So after all this happens and Kai introduces himself through the jade statues, and Shifu's trying to figure out who Kai is. So they go up and they go start checking scrolls, and he finally finds the scroll to kind of explain who Kai is. Go ahead, Angel. What's up?
So that was funny, actually. When they started explaining the scroll, I actually laughed a little bit, just because before the Mantis said, can we just roll out the entire scroll to read it? Even I was like, please just roll the scroll. I can't, because even I forgot, even though I know what was gonna happen, I got into the movie, so even I was kind of like, God, stop leaving me on a cliffhanger, man. Just to open the damn scroll so we can know everything. Even I was kind of like getting into it in that sense.
Well, the scroll basically told a story of Kai and Oogway as comrades. Oogway got hurt, and Kai carried him through the desert for a couple days and came to a village of pandas up in the mountains. And the pandas, according to the scroll, were healers. And they used chi to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically what the scroll told everyone was that a master of chi is the only way you can beat Kai. Because what Kai saw in the chi being distributed and given to save Oogway, he noticed you could also take it away and gain power. So that's why they say a master of chi is the only one who can take on and defeat Kai. So basically, Poe decides, I'm going to master chi. And his dad uses it as an opportunity to say, let's go home. I'll teach you this technique. Go ahead.
Yeah. So out of everything in the movie, this is the part I really didn't care. I didn't really care for, because it didn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't understand why Kai turned bad. Okay, the whole purpose was to save Oogway. The pandas saved him. Okay, and
he got power hungry, bro.
But he didn't have it. It's not like he had a taste of it.
That was his problem. He didn't have it. He exploited it. He saw that there's a way where you can gain unlimited power. He saw that. It's almost like anyone trying to take over the world.
What I'm saying is, we don't. Did Kai ask the pandas to teach him how to do that?
No,
we don't know.
Killed him.
But why? That's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, he just turned bad. Why didn't he ask?
The way it was explained in the scroll, because like I said, this whole story is only being told. It's being told through a scroll by Shifu.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy?
It's actually interpreting the scroll.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, the same way we're arguing this is the same way people look at hieroglyphics in Egypt. We don't know what the hell will actually happen. We're just reading it off the wall and giving our interpretation. The way this is what I got from it. Joe, step in any time to correct me. Was that after Oogway was healed, he saw Oogway learn and master chi, so he wanted to master it. But he also saw about mastering it, instead of it being used for good, it could be used for bad, in the sense of he can gain unlimited power
to heal. To heal, the pandas were giving away chi to heal.
Exactly.
Somehow during the learning process of that, Kai realized he could just take it away from you.
Yeah.
The
And he could just
problem
be
is,
unlimited power.
That's my problem.
yeah,
Most of the time when someone becomes a villain, it's because someone did something to you, okay, which caused you to turn bad. This he just turned back just for the hell of it.
well,
To me, he
he,
kind of was already a
he
villain then.
said that Uguay betrayed him
That's what I'm saying. He didn't, but how? They never
because
explained that.
I guess he figured Uguay should have joined him and taken all
Yeah.
the chi,
Uguay tried to
and
stop.
and Uguay stopped him and sent him to the spirit realm.
He stopped him from getting all of the chi.
Yeah.
Yes,
It makes
because
sense.
the problem is taking the chi away was
He was the Panda.
destroying the people.
You
That's-
look like you
that-
look like you're not into this right now.
No. I just don't
No,
like
he's
that.
trying to understand it.
I
He's
just don't
trying
like
to
that
say,
explanation.
where did Kai turn? What
No,
caused
why?
him to turn?
Why? Okay, I mean, I understand. Like, let's use Dragon Ball Z. I understand why Vegeta wants to have the power because he is the prince. So he should be the king because nobody else is around anymore. So he should have been the king of the Saiyans. But I understand why he wants to be better than Goku. That makes sense, right? This it doesn't make it to me. It just doesn't make sense. Like you okay, so you want to learn how to do chi, but now you want all of the chi. You want to like they could have just said something, fucked his head up or something. So now this is why he wants to turn back. But if he was already a hero should not just switch and just
You
be
know
bad
what?
all of a sudden.
Wait. Here, this is where you messed up. They never called him and Uguay heroes. They were just going around, fighting people and got hurt. They never said they were good or bad.
Yeah, I
They were
guess you're
just
right about that.
kung fu fighting throughout the valley.
So Uguay could have been full of shit this whole time. He could have been full of shit.
See, this is what kills me about Gene. Gene can't just watch a movie. He got to break down every little aspect.
I can't.
Now you got me thinking. Now I got to go rewatch this shit and figure out, were they good guys or were they just fighting everybody?
Every bad guy, every villain becomes a villain for
No,
some
I agree.
reason.
I agree.
I'm talking to Angel. And
there's no reason given. You're right. When I'm thinking about and kind of skimming through this movie right now, they never really do show where he decided, but what they do show is he did cross a line. Uguay didn't like it. Uguay sent him away, and that's the part that pissed him off. But they didn't show why he started stealing chi.
What if this is the thing? Because it said, man, we really got caught up on this. Good job, Gene.
It's okay, but I mean, it makes sense because if you look at the last movie with the peacock, we knew why the peacock became bad. They explained it. They told us why.
We knew why Tai Long was bad.
Exactly. With this one, they don't really explain why he turned bad. It was just like, he like Joe said, they took Uguay to the Pandas, they healed him. Next thing you know, he was like, shit, I want that shit for myself. You give it here. It's like, what? Like, you were a hero. Like, at least we thought he was a hero. But
they said that Uguay was the head of an army and Kai was his, like, not assistant, but like his second in command.
They could have even said, I'm sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
And then when Uguay got injured, Kai was the one that sacrificed his body to get him healed. So that could have been what made him go bad, was the fact that he did all that and then he's like, you're not going to join me? And Uguay said, I'm going to be against you. That could have been what turned him bad.
Yeah, but that is the point where he crossed the line. But what Gene's trying to say is, what caused him to want to steal all that power in the first place?
I can see if the pandas are teaching Uguay how to use chi and how to get more chi, and Kai asks him, "Hey, show me too," and Uguay says, "No." Okay, I get it. I understand. Or if Kai had gotten hurt and he needed healing, and they told him, "No, we're not going to heal you." Well, I get that, but from how they explain it in this movie, I just don't get it. But I don't want to spend too much time on
No,
it.
I got you. I got
But
you. That's some good food for thought. And if anybody's got an answer for us, let us know. Because I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow and figure this out. Now you got me going now, and I'm a little upset. But we're gonna move on.
For real. Let us know tomorrow, Joe.
Yeah, for real. You know, I mean, it's open for interpretation at this point because I can't think of anything like you said, but I am going to rewatch it. They leave to go to the Panda village. The dad and Poe, and his adopted father tags along in the food basket, and so now they're all three going together.
Can I just say really quick? They had the best line that I figured Gene was gonna laugh at, and it made me laugh at.
What's that?
Poe looks and he goes, he said something like, I don't know if it was the dad that said, "Well, I guess you're not gonna fly back, are you?" or something. And Poe goes, "You can fly?" And his dad goes, "Poe, I'm a bird," and he just kept walking. In my mind, I said, "I bet you Gene's like, finally, they're actually making sense now. Like this makes perfect sense."
I did like that part when he said that, Angel. I did like that part.
Mind, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know Gene's laughing because he's probably just like, you see, now everyone's making sense. Now we're calling a spade a spade. Not over here acting oblivious.
Well, now so they like, I don't know how long they traveled for, but they went desert and snow, and I know. And you know, they make it all the way into the Panda village.
That led me to another part which I was confused at, but I'll wait till you get there. Something else happens. Something else happens.
To the Panda village. What part?
This part, like them traveling there. Something else happens and leading up to this, and they never explained it. But when we get there, I'll ask you.
Well, you know, they're walking through all this different terrain and snow and everything, and he gets to the village, and
it's a hidden village. It's a hidden village. It's a hidden village.
Yeah,
I feel like I know what he's gonna say.
And they get there, and Poe's like, "Oh, great! Now what? More stairs?" And the dad goes, "No, pandas don't use stairs. He brings down a whole elevator, like Tarzan style, and pulls them up." And they look on and the village, and it's this beautiful, village with hot springs, and they got kids running around and male and female pandas, and Poe doesn't know what to do because he's never seen this many pandas before. He's been all by himself for 20 years. And they all come over and to meet him because is the dad like the leader of the village?
Like the mayor.
Like that?
I don't think so. Not with old ass grandma walking around. I think they're always gonna defer to the elders.
It just, I don't know. They seemed like, I guess maybe they were excited because he was leaving and coming back with his son.
Yeah, everybody seems very, very happy, and it seems like they're all one big happy family, and they all know each other. And he probably said, "Hey, I'm gonna go find my son." He probably told everybody. They probably had a big feast before he left. So they were probably
have a lot of feasts. Because Poe brings up a few things that he's been dealing with, like panda asthma, quotation marks.
That makes me laugh. They all started breathing heavy. I started laughing. That just makes me laugh. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
But they also they're trying to teach Poe like how to be a panda. Like they don't walk everywhere; they roll. They're rolling up and down hills and just, silly stuff. And Poe's adopted dad is like, "This is ridiculous. You're not going to do that." And Poe wants to be a part of all of it because, he doesn't know this part of his life. He didn't have anyone to teach him. But the problem is his dad tells him, "You got to go back to being a panda before I can teach you how to do the chi." And every time it comes up, the dad kind of has an excuse. And then they take us to they have a feast, and this female panda does a little ribbon dance. She kind of seems like she's really into Poe. And this is my favorite part because she does her little ribbon dance and she grabs Poe with the ribbon. And he's like, "Oh, dads, help me out here." And they're like, "No, you're on your own, bro." Like, good luck. Have fun. I feel like most dads would be like that in that situation.
That when the Ribbon Girl came out, man, she not that she was annoying, but after a while I was just like, yo, this girl is crazy. Like he needs to go somewhere. He needs to be different. He needs to pick someone different.
I don't think he had a choice. He didn't pick her. She kind of picked him.
That's what I said. Maybe that's how it worked in the wild. We don't know.
The village, yeah.
We have to look it up. So we go back to Poe's home, and Shifu sends out Crane and Mantis to go get a fix on where Kai is, but only to
observe from a distance,
not to interact. And they run into Master Croc and Master Chicken. That was fun.
Yeah.
And Mantis talks Crane into helping out because he's like, literally, you're gonna let a chicken go in? It's a chicken. So they all lose to Kai and get turned into great statues. And then Kai ascends on the Jade Palace, and he takes on everybody there, and he destroys. They're all upset about the statue being destroyed more than everybody getting turned into jade statues, which really kind of got me. Like, I get it's a statue of Master Oogway, okay? It's sacred. But all your friends just got turned into statues. Come on. Like, let's figure out our priorities here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Even Shifu gets turned into a statue, and he saves Tigress because she wants to fight. But he tells her she's got to go and warn Poe. Now, this is the part that gets me.
How did he know where he was? Does anyone know this?
No.
That's what I was going to say. That's the part I was just talking about.
That's not even my biggest problem. Yes, how did she know where he was? One. But two, how did she get there so fast, but Kai takes 3 days?
I was gonna say that you had.
Well, I got an answer for that one.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm not saying it makes sense, but she runs fast and all the time. Poe and his dad seem like they're gonna take forever with their asses. They are walking slow. You know, they don't run nowhere.
Nope.
They're gonna take their time. So, I mean, it seemed like that village, that the panda village, was far away. But in actuality, were those pandas really going to walk far? I don't think so. Not based upon the things that they were saying. Like, they seemed like lazy people.
Yes.
So they were probably strolling, I guess, probably like 20 minutes away. You know, and to them, it was like 8 hours, you know? Who knows?
Kai took the scenic route so he could grab some souls on the way.
I guess, man.
So
that was just crazy.
So Poe, meanwhile, is still trying to, basically the panda life is you sleep in late, you eat a lot, and you relax. That's it. No problems. He does also learn a little bit more about his mom. The dad shows him, a picture of the three of them together before the mom died. And they do explain the reason the mom died and the dad didn't is because that scene where we see everyone running and Poe being put in the basket and sent away, the mom had distracted away from Poe. So she basically gave up her own life to say so they wouldn't find Poe. And however the dad got away, I'm not sure. Either they got separated.
Yeah, he had got a man. They showed it in the second one when Peacock and the wolves showed up. He wasn't in the same place. I don't think he was in the same place as the mom.
That's what I'm saying. They got separated, and she took off with Poe to save Poe, and then she distracted and ran and gave her own position away to stay away from everything. And
I I like the fact that they didn't show. They left that to our imagination as far as what happened. We don't know if the wolves
Yeah,
ate her. We don't know if they killed her. We don't even know if they kidnapped her. We don't know. She was just gone. They just never explained anything.
they really didn't. So when Tigress shows up and she's, asking Poe if he mastered chi yet, of course, Poe goes to his dad and says, okay, I got to learn this. Like, Kai's coming. I got to save the world. And the dad's like, oh, no, you're not ready. He's getting everyone in the village ready to, like, hightail it on out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is how he survived.
Mm-hmm.
Any sign of danger, he's gone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody pack up your shit. Let's go. But Poe is the complete opposite. Poe is going to stay and fight. He's got the whole world on his shoulders. So his dad, basically, when he pressures them enough, he explains, hey, I don't know this. I only said it so you won't die, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We're, as dads, we don't want to put our kids in danger. We don't, even if it's for the best, like, we want to keep them out of danger. So Poe gets, of course, he's pretty pissed off. He's upset, and now he's got to figure out, like, okay. So he just starts training. He thinks, I'll just train until Kai gets here, and hopefully I can get better than by the time he gets here. And the two dads get together, and they have a talk. And I will say this. His adopted dad gave really good advice. He's like, dude, your son got mad at you. Big freaking whoop. That's what they do. And he's true. My kids yell at me all the time. Their favorite thing, oh, I hate you. You know what I tell my kids when they say they hate me? I guess I'm doing my job right. Because I love you. What am I going to say? You got mad at me. What would he do? 2 minutes later, they're like, okay, Dad, I love you again. That's what kids do, man. And Poe's no different. But, I mean, he has a reason to be upset. But, the dad's heart was in the right place. So, at this point, he's got to figure out a way that he can get rid of Kai without using the key technique, the chi technique.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts thinking back what Master Shifu told him. And Master Shifu said one thing, that I'm not going to train you to be like me. I want to train you to be like you. And Poe thinks back on that. And now he's going to train the pandas to help him defeat Kai.
He's going to use the best of their ability.
Yeah.
So he's going to find out what they're good at. And he's helping develop that technique as opposed to teaching them how to do Kung Fu like him.
Yeah, because you're not going to teach him Kung Fu in a couple of days, like
Right.
Shifu taught him. So his idea is
Angel had something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you guys this is what I put together in that moment. They took a Bruce Lee proverb and they made it real life in the movie. Did you guys notice that?
I did.
So the whole you could practice 10,000 or one thing 10,000 times as opposed to knowing 10,000 things but only practicing it one time.
Yep.
And that was like that true like Bruce Lee proverb of like he just took that one thing and had them, repetition and just practice that. So that was what they did. Not instead of how we said like teaching them a bunch of stuff that wouldn't even work for them. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's like a little like Bruce Lee drop in right there.
Well, he had a group of kids that like to roll, so he had them rolling like crazy. He had the ribbon girl do her ribbon, but now he added some nunchucks. That part made me laugh a little bit. He had a guy that would hug everybody, so he had him hugging a tree trunk until he crushed it. And just silly little things. But the whole idea was to distract the jade figures that allowed Kai to see everything. And so he can get to Kai and give him the whooshy finger and send him back to the spirit realm. And this is why when Gene asked what the whooshy finger did, we didn't know in the first movie, but now that I've seen the third movie, it sends anybody that's used on to the spirit realm.
Which hold on, I don't know about
you.
I
don't know.
I don't know about you, but I thought that was kind of weird. When he went to the spirit realm, I'm surprised all the villains didn't just jump his ass.
Who?
when
Poe.
Poe went to the spirit realm.
Well, they
They
probably
weren't all
did
there.
because they were all they were probably all figurines. Because he said when he fought Oogway, he said that he fought all of the masters that were in the spirit realm, and he had them. He took their chi. So I'm assuming they weren't there. But so in the first movie when he did that move, I mean, and when we see this part, I just thought that he blew himself up. That's honestly what I thought. I was like, he just committed suicide in a kid's cartoon. That's what that's what I thought.
You're so
I
crazy.
didn't think I didn't. I mean, because it was a big explosion,
So Poe's plan works. The problem is when he sneaks up on Kai and gives him the whooshy finger, it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because Kai came from the spirit realm. So he's not immortal. He is a spirit who came back from the spirit realm.
Mm-hmm.
So once Poe figures that out, he decides right then and there, the only thing he can do is take Kai to the spirit realm with him. So he whooshy fingers himself.
Oh man, you're not supposed to do that.
I know, right?
No, you're so bad, bro. You're so bad, bro. You're so bad, man.
I love it.
Yo, I
love it. I love it. Woo!
Oh man, you're hilarious, bro. I can't. You probably was waiting for that the whole time.
I didn't know Joe was gonna say that. I didn't know Joe was gonna say that.
Yo.
It just came to me.
Whooshy figured himself. You're not supposed to do that. Oh.
And so he ends up. Both of them end up in the spirit realm. And when Kai gets there and he notices what happened, he gets really, really upset. And he basically says, I don't care if it's going to take another 500 years. I'm going to get your chi. I guess he figures if he gets the Dragon Warrior's chi, then he'll absolve himself of everything and get back to the mortal realm and take over. I really don't understand that.
I didn't either.
So Master Oogway was so powerful. So his chi allowed you to the mortal realm. So then you get sent back there. But if you take all of Poe's chi, then the same thing will happen. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, how come Master Oogway didn't leave? I mean,
he said he never tried.
Yeah, he did. He said that at the end, right? He never tried. I think Master Oogway gets high. He looks like he looks like it. He's just pretty much in chill mode. He seems like he's a hippie, doesn't he?
He does.
I wouldn't be surprised if he hung out with Willie Nelson. I really wouldn't be surprised.
He does. Willie Nelson, Master Oogway, hanging out. Makes sense. So at this point, it's not looking great for Poe. Kai has him wrapped up in the chains, and everyone from the outside starts kind of deciding who they are and doing the chi technique, and they're giving their chi all to Poe, and Poe feels it all from the outside in the spirit realm, and it allows him to escape and unleash his full Dragon Warrior potential. He actually makes a dragon in the spirit realm. I don't really know if it's a real dragon or if it was just a representation of the Dragon Warrior.
Because he ate Kai's whatever those were, and he said delicious.
Well, it was the chi.
I know, it was just weird. Just weird. That's all.
I mean, there's so much you could look into it, but anyhow, he basically embraced his full, I'm a goose, I'm a panda, I'm the Dragon Warrior, I'm a teacher, everything that he was worried about. Now it all comes together. He knows who he is. He turns into a big dragon and he defeats Kai. And then during that, he kind of, ascends to a higher power. He's got a cape, a hat, whatever. And he goes and talks to Master Oogway because he probably thinks, well, this is my new home. And as he's talking to Master Oogway, Oogway says, you finally figured out who you were. I'm so proud of you. He gives him his staff. He says, I can't take that staff. That's yours. He says, that's okay. I got a bigger one. And then he's talking about, so what do you do around here? And Uguay says, you can do whatever you want if you're staying. And Poe's like, wait, what do you mean? I can leave? And he goes, I don't know. I never tried. So Poe does end up leaving. He comes back to the real world. Everyone's super happy. And then he goes into, the Kung Fu fighting song, and we see Poe, and he's teaching
Everyone.
the entire group of pandas, the Jade Palace, even Master Shifu, and the Furious Five. And he's showing them all.
Everybody.
Yep. Everybody's there. Master Croc, Master Chicken, whatever. And they're all doing, Poe's teaching them in perfect unison. And then everybody can do the chi technique at the end. And that's the movie. My understanding when I saw this movie was that it was going to be the third and the last one.
It should.
They really didn't foreshadow anything like they did in the second one. But then literally I went and saw Trolls a few months ago with the kids, and they showed a preview for a fourth one.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't have done that because this was wrapped up perfectly.
I thought so too, yeah.
The only thing they really should be doing is if there's going to be since there's a 4, I really hope it focuses on him teaching other pandas. And he can't be silly and goofy because all of this will be for nothing then. Like he's learned a lesson at the end of each one of these movies.
Yes.
And with this one, he became, you said the full potential of the Dragon Warrior. You can't go back to rolling around, running away from flowers or whatever.
Yeah, the fourth one shows a new Dragon Warrior, and it's a fox. Now I don't know if it's like someone's child or how it happens. So they don't really give you much. It's just like a teaser. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Go ahead, Angel.
We forgot one important thing. How we said like this movie. Well, I will say, I think of any movie I've ever seen, martial arts, non-martial arts, whatever. I've never seen a movie wrap a bow on everything and fill in all the gaps so perfectly. I mean, this series really was good. And one part we forgot, Joe, was just Uwe explained why he picked Poe as the Dragon Warrior, and like how we all thought we all said like it should have been Tigress, that's who it was supposed to be. But he said he saw the future when Poe landed in front of him. And it probably reminisced him like he hasn't seen a panda in who knows how long.
No, he said he saw the future and the past of Kung Fu, and that Poe could bring the two worlds together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you're right. That was important.
So that was like a big tie-up from questions we had from the first one. Even, the Wushu finger, that was a big thing that we had questions about from the first one that got tied up in this one. So all in all, man, this series was probably like one of the best I've ever seen, especially with sequels, to like tie everything together and really make it look like almost unison. Like to the point of what Gene said, we don't even need a fourth. Like the fact that they're going to do a new character, maybe that like starts its own series, but we really didn't need a fourth. Like we were all fine with this one.
Yeah, and another movie, another series that ended perfectly, which they really didn't need to add to it, was Toy Story. The way Toy Story ended at the end of the third one, there was no need to have anything else after that.
When he came back in the house. Right? That's when he came back in the room or something like that. Was that how?
No. He ended up giving his toys to like a little girl at a daycare center. Her mom had a daycare center or something, and he ends up giving his toys to them, and because he goes off to college. That was the perfect ending, right there. And they didn't need to do anything else.
These movies make so much money.
They're trying to capitalize.
And I think that's all they can do. Like they're just
I think
merchandising and all that probably just makes.
But see, this is the thing. When they do stuff like this, I think, in my opinion, they should just branch off and only focus on other characters. Like when they have the minions, with Despicable Me, they could just focus on him. the minions.
Yep.
They don't need to do the main character anymore. And
Well,
the
that's
same
what they.
thing with
I mean, they
the
did
same
that
thing with
with.
Madagascar.
Yeah,
Madagascar, like they can focus on just the penguins. They don't need to do anything else. So if they wanted to continue the Kung Fu Panda story, that's fine, but just don't involve Poe or
what they could have done was
or
they could have gave everybody a backstory. All of the other five, the
yeah, they
Furious Five.
could have, yeah. Or if you could, or you can just put Poe in the position of Master Shifu. I just don't want to see him, acting all goofy and silly and needing to learn another lesson because these last three movies, he should have learned all of the lessons that he needs to learn. You
Yeah.
know, so all right. So what grade are you guys giving this movie? I kind of think I kind of have an idea what you guys are going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm an A. I'm good all across.
Yeah, hey,
I
for
enjoyed
real.
it.
Yeah, me too. I give it an A also. I think it's the first time where we did a series and we've given it all A.
Because man, it's hard to do 3 movies and enjoy all 3. It really is.
It really
Yeah.
was. I mean, American Ninja, that was tough for us.
Oh goodness, yeah. Like even the Karate Kid. I don't think we gave all of the Karate Kid movies A's.
No, we always gave. We all had a different one. Everyone picked a different movie that had an A.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. All right, Angel, what's next, man?
Next one's gonna be Age of the Samurai Battle for Japan. So it's gonna be a docu-series on Netflix. It's 6 episodes. So what we're gonna be doing, everybody, we're gonna be going 2 episodes per week. And that's gonna lead us into some exciting stuff we got coming up soon. In February, we got some big things, some big events for us. So make sure you guys stay tuned. But that's what we're gonna do. Age of the Samurai Battle for Japan. It's on Netflix. So y'all go ahead, watch it with us. We're gonna do 2 episodes a week.
All right, you guys got any closing remarks or anything?
No, I'm good, man.
Go Lions. Let's go.
There we go. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I'm going to play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.